Petal Creations can be the MVP for you this year by helping you impress the lady in your life with the Heart Box of Love display of roses. Trust me on this one, this play call will result in a touchdown. Call Petal Creations today to reserve your flowers at 402-423-6500 or go to petalcreations.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round. And their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about atomic diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. February is National Pet Dental Health Month. At Parkview Animal Hospital, their skilled doctors and staff can help identify and treat a wide range of dental issues. If your pet is showing signs of bad breath, abnormal chewing or drooling, reduced appetite, or refusal to eat, now is a great time to speak to a member of their team and help get your pet back on track to a healthy lifestyle. Call Parkview Animal Hospital today at 402-423-6939 to learn more about their discounts on dental cleanings, procedures, and hygiene products.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Hillariola, the doctor, the Polynesian Bowl. He had a lot of throws. He made a couple nice throws. He threw outs. He threw a deep dig. He threw a slant that went to the house. There were so many different passes that we saw him. And he's got a little quick twitch. Is he fast? No. Quick twitch? Yes. It was good to see him moving around. Listen, he connected with, guess who?
Carter Nelson.
Thank you. We got a chance to see Carter twice. It was good for me to watch that because I think that's a precursor of what's.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weekends. I am Harrison Arns on the ones and twos back here at the 1040 Ticket Studios. And again, if you guys ever want to join the show, start our Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. Great way to put a face to the voice. We just wrapped up with Fitness Fanatics. They were live at the Home and Garden Show. You can go back on YouTube, rewatch that one. And we will have Haas, the host, as always, joining us with DP as well. But nonetheless, DP, how's it going on the Super Bowl Sunday?
Harrison, it is fantastic. Just to tell you, as you can see the bags under my eyes.
It looks like you've had a few good days.
Here's the thing, and all of that is without adult beverages. That is just simply trying to keep up with everything that's going on. Every Super Bowl week is its own universe and its own high level of everything. Add to that, UFC is in town. Add to that, WWE is in town. Add to that it's in Vegas. It's in Vegas. And Harrison, let me give you some details of the week, right? That the local reports is that there are an additional 500,000 people in town. And remember, there's only 65,000 seats.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of people who are in town are just here to congregate, gamble, spend, party, etc. And it's Vegas. I have a credential for the game. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to engage in that. But the other side of it is, okay, you just go to the local bar, sports bar, right? And watch with people. Except Vegas has done a thing where Vegas has said, not only are you, if you're going to be in Las Vegas proper, if you're going to be in the Strip, you're going to pay to watch the Super Bowl. Like, you can go to a casino and just stand around, right? And then be around TVs, etc. But it's $100 per seat for the first hour. And then $50 a seat for every hour after that. Quick math, if you're going to watch the Super Bowl sitting down on the Strip in Las Vegas in front of televisions with food and beverage, you're going to spend $300 today.
My couch is sounding pretty nice now.
Right.
The numbers, I don't mind.
Right. Like
that's
the let me tell you, that's it. If you're going anywhere that has seats, TVs, and food that identifies as a sports bar, you're going, like, there are restaurants that are just opening that you're going to pay the cheapest seat in Vegas for the Super Bowl is $165. I don't mean in Allegiant Stadium. I mean anywhere. There are going to be people. Look, the people watching in Vegas today. So this morning, got up, went down. I had 2 other appearances to make, 2 other events to go to, and the casinos were packed at 7:00. And I mean, every slot machine, there was not a chair. And the people watching is going to be spectacular, because there are going to be people who are posted up at a slot machine where you'll spend $100 just to not spend the $300. And the $100 at the slot machine, mind you, you still have to tip, but it's almost a bargain. There's no food because you can't, you're not going to eat food there. But and here's the thing. People are standing around and they're arguing over, hey, you can't stay here. You can't stay. This was at 7:00. Okay. I'm going to go back down. And I'm just telling you, a part of me said I should be in the building, right? I should be in the room where it happens. Except there's that part of me that says, no, the people watching the spectacular people watching that's going to take place with all of the drinking that's going to go on and all of the gambling that's going to go on in Las Vegas in every casino. Just a part of me, I'm wavering right now. Like I
can't blame you. Vegas is already a top 3 people watching spot, arguably number 1. And now you got the Super Bowl right on top of it, along with UFC and an NHL Stars event, not all the events taking place right there. It's going to be an all-time people watching day.
I don't know. I'll ask you two guys. Like, what would you do?
In my case, I'm still going because that's limited opportunity for me. I'd have to do it for a bucket list item.
But I've done Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. You different shoes you're in.
Right,
I would do it, no doubt.
Like I've done that, and so being in the room now to tell you again, normal Super Bowls, all of the security that is in play, all of the security. So it's going to take you 2 hours to get from your hotel into Allegiant Stadium because cars aren't moving.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going anywhere. You're not getting – people are walking 3 miles to get to the stadium so that they don't have to spend 2 hours in the car. The walk is an hour. The car is 2 hours. Make a decision, right? And walking is free. So there's, after you spend $12,000 for a ticket, yeah, you're gonna nickel and dime over an Uber or parking. But
well, a 2-hour Uber ride, that's gonna be like a $300 Uber just to
get everything. Listen, my guy. So one of my guys, he's in town. So he's staying at the Excalibur, which literally is across the street. But if you don't know Vegas, Excalibur is right across the street from Allegiant Stadium. And he was going to an event, so he's like, okay, I'll Uber. Not knowing, right? He paid $60 to find out that it was literally across the bridge. He could have walked across the bridge that took 10 minutes. And then another 5 minutes into Allegiant Stadium. But they don't tell you any of this stuff. So you're just it's the best episode of oh my goodness that I've ever been a part of. Like I've never seen anything like it. I've been to Super Bowls, I've been to Vegas, I've been to events in Vegas. Nothing like this. Nothing like this at all.
I can believe it. Haas, what are your thoughts? I got to get your thoughts on this.
I mean, it's just reminding me of this series, Las Vegas, with Josh Duhamel and Molly Sims and
James Caan.
Yeah. It's just the cinematic experience is what I'm hearing. Every second there's something different going on and unbelievable. How unbelievable was Thursday with The Rock?
So first of all, and there's so much to cover in an hour, but I just went through this with a 2-hour show here, a local show in Vegas. It's been amazing to watch how many people came to me and asked me to sit down and kind of put this week together for them. As you know, they said, you're like the full ambassador for Vegas since you've been at all of the big events, but there's no way you could go all the big events. So we've been, there's no way. There were at a minimum 8,000 people at the WrestleMania kickoff inside. So they only opened 8,000 seats. And I walk in and where I'm I walk in and they direct me and it's dark at that moment. Of course you get there early and I'm standing I'm standing where they put me, not knowing what's really behind me or next to me. And then all of a sudden the lights come on. And it's the WWE broadcast booth. And I'm right next to me at Haas. It's kind of like we were at the Rumble. Oh, CM Punk walks right by me. Pat McAfee walks, and I'm just going, we're doing a thing. Like we're doing a thing here. And to watch their reactions, and here's an interesting thing, and I don't know if you caught it on when they rebroadcast, but I had the distinct impression that the panel didn't know what was going to happen. Like their reactions, CM Punk was majestic. Just watching him react to it all, and he was so engaged. I think I sent Haas a video of CM Punk recording the crowd because he was just like, "What is happening here? Like this is amazing." And Big E, Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, and as the conversation on the stage was happening, their reactions were legit. It was, "Oh, this is what we're doing. This is what," like they didn't know what to expect. And I don't know if they made a conscientious decision not to go through that, but it was pretty amazing to watch. And the crowd lost it. And then, the reception afterwards where Rhea Ripley was there, Big E was there, Jade Cargill came up, Cody Rhodes, of course, was there as the main feature. Got to talk to him for way too long. He and Big E were both incredibly receptive. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. And, Haas will probably also agree to this, that sometimes you meet them and they don't meet up to the standard in your head, right? You go, okay, they're not impressive in person, except 201. They all exceeded it. Cody, Haas, you've had a chance to talk to Cody, and Cody had the word presence is sometimes we miss it. Cody has presence. Rhea walked in the room like it was a surprise party for her, right? Like, and she reacted accordingly. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill's a star. Like, the rest of the world will catch up to Jade Cargill. Like 3 years from now, we'll be talking about Jade Cargill the way we talk about Rhea Ripley right now. She's that person. And to tell you that Big E talked to every single person in the room. Now, Harrison, bruh, let me just explain to you. That ain't the normal get down. But to have Big E walk in and just literally, and not in that passive kind of dismissive, hey, but to literally ask their name, where you're from, shake their hand, take the picture, sign the autograph, pat them on the back, give them a hug, and then move to the next one and not ever rushing to do it. So Thursday was been a ton of these events. This was the best, and it wasn't even close, and they're getting better at it. Another thing happened that the UFC administrators and execs were there watching WWE, and they were impressed. Like, oh, like the pops are bigger.
Yeah.
Right? The pops are bigger. Like they think, look, Conor McGregor, John Jones, like when they walk into the arena, but there's nothing in the UFC like having The Rock walk out on stage. Nothing.
I want to ask you about The Rock, and Haas, maybe you have information on this too, because I was seeing a lot. The Rock, we talked about it last week about him being the classic hero, the guy that has probably the biggest fan base, getting booed at WrestleMania in the press conference. What was the story behind The Rock getting booed?
So hold on, and thanks. That's the biggest thing that we should talk about is where's all this going to go. DP, you talked about Cody Rhodes. The thing that I felt from Cody is he's genuine. Do you get that feeling? Do you get the feeling that he loves being there? He's so happy that all this is going on. He's not entitled. He's not, I'm bigger than you, I'm better than you. He's proud of his position, and he's proud of the history of wrestling and all those things. And with it, he understands the responsibility of being the top guy, and other top guys came off a different way than Cody does. Do you get that? Am I explaining that right?
That's 100% true. Like in talking to Cody, and I kind of explained to him, like you guys have heard me tell the story about meeting Dusty for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. In college, and I shared that with Cody, and Cody did a thing in asking. He goes, "Man, I would love to know what kind of business they were doing back then. Like, what would you do on a written?" And he asked me like what night of the week it was. He asked me who else was on the card. He talked about the car that I mentioned. And I said, it was a gold caddy. And he goes, "Oh my God, that gold caddy is somewhere in a museum." Like he actually just was thrilled and engaged by it, and then went to imagine the people in the room. There was a bar. There was, it's a bar area, and there were people there who offered to buy him drinks, and he moseyed to the bar and shook hands and did the shots of liquor. And there's a kid there that had on like a Cody jacket, like the full-on American Nightmare jacket, right? Turns out he's from Virginia. He's from Fairfax, Virginia. His dad was around. He was a cable guy for the Redskins back in the day. So, like, of course, but not all events allow you to find out that information and have that kind of rapport with people. So Cody, as I said at Rumble, Cody is the right ambassador for an organization that needs an ambassador right now. And Cody is the ideal ambassador for it because he was raised in it. He loves it. He doesn't love what it does for him. He loves it. And he acts accordingly. So yeah. And the Rock thing is going to be spectacular. But, because old heads like me know the backstory that, Rock was being sold when he debuted. He was sold as Rocky Maivia, and he was the happy, everybody was supposed to love him. And The Rock was formed as a heel.
Yep.
The Rock, the best version of the Rock was heel Rock. When Rocky's a heel, there's nobody better because he gets to be a verbal jerk. And there's nobody better at just dropping bombs, verbal bombs, than heel Rock. So I think it's a great, look, you made chicken salad out of chicken poop, right? That you picked Rock, and then the Cody people kind of jumped up, and the minds got together and said, okay, well, then let's do this. And I thought it was like, again, you don't want to get so used to moving with what the crowd says they want. But in this case, I understand.
So back to Harrison's question. So he was supposed to be the hero. For those of you that missed it, the audience, the internet for the past week has been complaining that The Rock just hijacked Cody Rhodes' position, and The Rock is going to main event WrestleMania. And the way that the event started in Las Vegas, Roman Reigns is out there with Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns is just dissing on Seth Rollins. And everyone's diss on Seth Rollins is he's not as good as his wife. So that's number one. And Roman Reigns is the big brother, and Roman Reigns has done a lot more than you. And Seth Rollins talks about, hey, you haven't been here for 2 years. I don't know why you're talking. So all that happens, and then The Rock comes out, and it's like, okay, this is it. This is it. And right before Rock comes out, Roman Reigns says, I pick who I'm fighting. I pick The Rock. And it's not allowed. The Royal Rumble winner gets to pick who they fight. And these guys are like, look, I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. I'm TKO board member now, The Rock. And we're going to say who fights whom. And that's where The Rock comes out, and he he says, I'm fighting Roman Reigns. I get to do what I want. And he shows the bloodline and the history of it all. And with it, he says there's so much family history, and he's trying to explain, is it my grandfather or your grandfather that's the best, and so on and so forth. And we need to go put this out there to go see who really is the best in the bloodline. And so for them to go do this and be like, the rest of you don't matter, the rest of the WWE doesn't matter, Cody Rhodes doesn't matter. And a lot of it was just unraveling because every time The Rock talked, the crowd wouldn't let him. They're doing full on Dom, just, we're not going to let you talk. We're going to boo you. We're going to what you. And for The Rock to have those things happen to him, being that he's The Rock, it felt so disrespectful to him. He was getting so upset. Now, I know they're smart, and I'm sure they're like, all right, this is what's going to happen. I got to be ready for it. But he was like, you know what? Screw it. In his head, he's like, F it. I am going to bring it. And I'm going to be The Rock. And you guys are going to be jabronis? Fine. I'm going to show you I'm the man. And I'm just going to throw all these things out there. And just instead, it made it bigger and bigger and bigger that he's a bad guy. And so he slapped Cody Rhodes in the face. And with that, then it's like, okay, where is this going? Cody Rhodes said, I pick Roman Reigns. And then now Triple H is involved. Where it's like, you got to fix this, Triple H. And so a lot of this could have been like WrestleMania 30, where the Authority was messing with Daniel Bryan for about 7-8 months. So to remind you what happened, John Cena finally allowed Daniel Bryan to fight for the World Heavyweight Champion because the Authority wouldn't, because he was a B+ player. And John Cena was like, no, he deserves it. And they fought. Daniel Bryan won. Triple H was the guest referee. Triple H held his arm up a couple times, but Randy Orton had the Money in the Bank briefcase. And he comes out with his briefcase and he walks up the ramp a little bit. And then Triple H still holds up Daniel Bryan's arm and then pedigrees him, cash in. Randy Orton's the champ. Then they wanted, because it's a 30, meaning ends in a 0, they wanted a very big pay-per-view for WrestleMania, the biggest pay-per-view ever. They wanted to bring a Hollywood star in and have Batista win the Royal Rumble, not Daniel Bryan, who was the most over star in wrestling at the time. Batista won, and his name became Bootista because every time, despite being a big WWE former star, he'd get booed. So just a little bit more of a recap for you, Harrison. It was then Daniel Bryan and Triple H. And if Daniel Bryan could beat Triple H, who's just one of the greatest champions of all time, then he could be placed into the match between the one-on-one match between Orton and Batista because the crowd forced it. They made it happen. Triple H lost to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan got added to the triple threat. And then all these obstacles were added. There's cheating. There's a crooked ref. There's a sledgehammer. There's Stephanie McMahon. Daniel Bryan still beat all of them. And there was a yes movement and a yes chant ending in New Orleans. And so this could have been like that, and it still might be. It still might be. The crowd is so into Cody Rhodes that we're into Daniel Bryan. So I'm very curious how things are going to evolve and how Triple H is going to be involved in all this and how the bloodline is going to be involved.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about that some more on these next few segments, as well as the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl Sunday. And be sure, hang out with the ticket crew at the watch party at Buffalo Wings and Things. We'll be down there, Super Bowl squares and all that fun stuff with those giveaways. But don't go anywhere. We got a couple more segments on the breeze. We got the host, Haas DP, both streaming in here. I'm back here at the 1040 Ticket Studios. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No matter what indoor or outdoor project is on your list, check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 9th through the 11th at Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Visit with vendors experienced in handling all your dream projects. Spend time viewing displays and exhibits to see the latest in home innovations. Admission is $10 or bring a non-perishable item for the food bank and get a $2 discount. Children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call. often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come for the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the big game at Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Wings and Rings? It's the big game party with 93.7 The Ticket at Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O. Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
Listen up, guys. Valentine's Day is almost here, and it's 3rd and goal, and we need a touchdown, not a field goal. You need a personal florist so you don't drop the ball. And Petal Creations can be the MVP for you this year by helping you impress the lady in your life with a heart box of love display of roses. Trust me on this one, this play call will result in a touchdown. Call Petal Creations today to reserve your flowers at 402-423-6500 or go to petalcreations.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with 4 Lincoln locations, but now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into The Breeze here on Ticket Weekends on what is Super Bowl Sunday. We got the host as always, DP and Haas, both streaming in. I'm Harrison Arns back here at the 1040 Ticket Studios. Plenty of things to talk about. Like I said, Super Bowl Sunday down in Las Vegas. You got the 49ers Chiefs. We talked some WWE as DP was able to be down there, catch some of that WrestleMania press conference. We got the women's Husker hoops going on as well in a stingy first quarter for them as they're facing the Hawkeyes at home. First quarter wraps up 16-13. It's only a 3-point game, and we'll keep you updated as that game goes along. But nonetheless, I'll throw it back to the host. Haas, where do you want to go with it?
So that's the score at the end of the quarter, 16-13?
Yep, first quarter, 16-13. Caitlin Clark sitting there with 2 boards, 2 assists, 7 points.
111, I think, was the score for Iowa against Penn State. So 16 or 13, I don't know who has the lead, is really impressive on a defensive end for Nebraska. So
Yep, Iowa has the lead, but like you said, just watching some of it through social media here, it's been defense for the Huskers allowing them to stay close right now. They're just playing very solid defense.
Yeah,
Hoss, they did a thing that I've always wondered why people didn't do to Caitlin Clark. But not everybody has a Darian White who's willing to sacrifice everything else on the floor. What I don't want, and Hoss knows this about me, is that and when it comes to basketball, the best player on the opposing team, I need to take something away. I'm not going to be reactive. I'm not going to allow you to just dictate how the game is going to play and how this is going to go down. And if I can force Caitlin Clark to just to work harder to get what she gets. There's a fatigue factor. There's the physical fatigue I'm not worried about. It's the mental fatigue of having somebody in your shirt for those extra minutes as you cross court, as you try to get into the lane. Then you're forcing her to get out of her head, out of attack mode. And then it's, well, yeah, if Caitlin Clark has 10 assists, that's fine. But then you're forcing other people to become great to beat you. Like you know how they win if you just let Caitlin Clark go off. Everybody knows their role. But if you put people in a tough spot, you give yourself a better chance to win. And Darian White has been, and it's kind of watching it flow. She's been active and again, forcing Caitlin Clark one step away from the basket, to have her put 3 more dribbles on the floor to get to the same spot that she's used to getting to normally, forcing teammates to shoot the ball in spaces from levels that they're not used to. And then Darian White, what happens along that is that she becomes aggressive offensively. So kudos to Amy Williams and the staff for making the move and saying, listen, however it plays out, it's not going to play out the way it normally plays out. We're not going to let you have what you want to get. You're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, well said. I think if you look at that Nebraska game and how the men's team were able to take down Purdue earlier in the year, don't let Zach Edey do what he wants to do. Don't let Zach Edey get comfortable. And that was kind of the game print. Like, he's obviously still going to get his. When you're that good, it's going to be hard to keep him absolutely nullified in terms of the box score. But they did enough. And it is a good start, again, as the score keeps updating, 18-15. But, yeah, you like your odds right now with how they're playing defense. That's the one thing about this team with Amy Williams led. The defense has been pretty consistent. They just need that offense to kind of keep on pace with it. But, nonetheless, only being down by 5 points right now, good start for the women's team.
Yeah, and the other thing, the big news, of course, is that, Haas doesn't recognize how close and how frictional the relationship is with Nebraska and Iowa, and that Iowa travels for Caitlin Clark, and it's not a long trip to Lincoln, Nebraska. So folks were outside in a line 3 hours before first tip. I don't know. Maybe I'll explain this for Iowa folks. I'm here to help. But you don't have to get in line. Your seat is guaranteed. Like PBA actually here in Lincoln, Nebraska, you actually get a seat. And the seat is yours, no matter what time you get there. You don't have to stand out in line in the cold for hours on end. Like you're not going to see Caitlin Clark 3 hours before the game.
I think we told them that intentionally so we could make them sit outside in the cold. I think
they did. They did it. They did it. They sure did. They lined up and did the thing. Look, I was there last year when they came to Lincoln, and another sellout. And kudos to that. I was talking to somebody this morning about how much respect I have for Caitlin Clark, and that I'm curious because I still don't like her. Like it's an interesting thing that I have mad respect for her as a basketball player, and I try not to attach the person to the player. But I there's something that rubs me wrong. Don't know what. I'm not even sure what it is. There's something that rubs me wrong about it, and the fact that maybe it's the fact she plays for Iowa. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. I'm not sure what it is.
It has to be because from a basketball perspective, competitive, can dribble, can shoot, she can create 15 assists in her last game. So if you were to go look at the box score and see that there was an Iowa player with 47 points, you would obviously think it was Caitlin Clark, and it wasn't. And that in itself, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the only thing that goes against Caitlin Clark is the only thing that goes against the guy in LeBron James. It's the flopping. Like if you're going to be, and this isn't pointing it out, like, yeah, she flops. It's one of those things that's part of the game. You can argue is that the ref's job to not call the flops, or if you're Caitlin Clark, if they're calling it, you can't necessarily blame the player either. But as a spectator, it's the same thing. It's why people get upset with LeBron, even though he's that great of a player. You don't think LeBron's a bad player. You don't think Caitlin Clark's a bad player, but the flopping, that's the only thing. I mean, we all saw the post game after Ohio State. There's some feelings about that one. It's just small things like that. But in terms of her play,
that wasn't. Hold on. That was not a flop. She did not see the person coming at her.
No, she flopped, Hoss. She threw her arms and flailed her arms forward. Okay, so here's Let me get in on this because and being around UFC for the last couple of days, there's a statement that's made constantly: control your weapons. What elite athletes do better than most human beings is control every aspect of their physicality, their awareness, their space identity, their physicality. They understand that. Control your weapons. And if you're running on the floor, a basketball player knows when somebody's coming within your space. You absolutely, the peripheral vision, what we know about Caitlin Clark is that she sees the full range and peripheral vision unlike anybody else in college basketball. And to tell me that you didn't see somebody moving at turtle speed with no athletic arrogance about them, and you didn't notice, and that somehow in contact, you flailed forward. You flailed forward and up. That's the flop thing that Harrison was talking about. It's so natural to her. And then the disingenuousness of her in the post game that I could have been hurt really badly, and this has to be. You know what? None of it's true, and none of it's authentic, and none of it settles with me. None of it lands. That's a part of the problem that I have with it. It was that, wait a minute, to watch the film on it, you can watch it in slow motion. And the fact that we got to watch slow motion on Caitlin Clark running across the floor really bothers me. But there is not one athletically arrogant thing she did in that. There was no natural movement to anything that happened in it. It didn't look like the way she moves. It didn't agree with the way she moves. She flopped against a reporter, bro. Come on. Come on. She flopped against a student reporter running to get pictures and video.
There was like 5 half-truths in that statement that I'm not even going to touch. The thing that I'm going to say is, what do you want her to do? Jermaine O'Neal, the person? Like,
no, what this is where
it's a jump stop.
Even if
it's a jump stop.
Even if we're calling for she did not see her. It was when the arms went up in the 360 spin around, fall to the floor. That's to me where it's like,
come on, she's run off picks at College Park against 6'4", 190-pound forwards with far more grace than she did that 122-pound reporter.
Haas, when you lose your balance, do you put your arms up straight in the air?
Depends how surprised I am.
I think you're stretching it. It just looked on that. You just have to watch it, and it looks unnatural. She's still a great player, and this is what makes this
still a great player.
She's fantastic.
Still a great player.
Oh yeah, but the flopping.
We're not talking about whether she can play, Haas. We're talking about that she took advantage of a situation and made herself a victim when she wasn't a victim. She's not. Look, who's the most gifted person on that floor running across a basketball court in tennis shoes and in a uniform on full alert? Caitlin Clark. And to tell me that she had less awareness of a student reporter running across the floor, and then when friction was received, flailed. There's no other description for what she did. She flailed. So there's no half truth in any of that. And here's the thing.
Let's say it's all true.
No, Haas, I'm not in this. I speak from what I know.
I'm just saying, let's say it's all true.
This is not an opinion. This is not an opinion. This is not slander. This is not bias. This is speaking to what I know to be true, and having been around her at the entire Big Ten tournament last year, 4 games over the course of last year, I've been in the room with Caitlin Clark on 12 different occasions. I speak from what I know.
We'll get this one from the text line real quick. And this one from Jordan P chimes in. She flopped. I reffed her all through high school. I'll use some keywords here. We'll say was not necessarily a fair player I've ever reffed, hitting girls on screens. He just claims it as, to sum it up short, ridiculous in terms of the flop. And that's hearsay. Obviously, I couldn't tell if Jordan coached her, but from experience, this isn't new to people who have talked about reffing her in the past. But again, you can argue if they're going to flop and the refs are going to call it, why don't you flop? But Haas, I'm definitely going to say it's flop. I don't see that any other way. The flailing at the end there. I'll give you some time here to convince me otherwise, or take it to a new segue. But that's where I'm at with it.
It's not a hill I'm going to die on. I was going to say, as a coach, if you have a press conference and everything that you guys are saying is true, then the coach has a responsibility to improve that communication from a young lady. So you could blame the kid. Oh, hold on, Coach DP. Hold on. You know, as a coach, it's your responsibility to train these young adults to communicate better and speak better. And if she played the victim card as a coach, it is our responsibility to nip that in the bud. So which
further speaks to my issue with this.
I'm saying now I blame the coach.
Well, no, through all of this, the coach is ultimately responsible for the player and the person that's under her watch.
Correct.
And the coach has dictated that, one, the rules of basketball don't apply for Caitlin Clark, and she goes along with it. She's fully supportive of it. Hey, she runs across the court. As a matter of fact, I was just looking up, and she's on the court during the play because somebody actually breathed on Caitlin Clark, and she's on the floor. I'm not talking on the sideline. I mean on the floor. I watch this coach make decisions that, quite frankly, if I'm one of the other players on the team, that you understand who your star player is. It's a unique situation because you've never had anybody who played at the level and with the level of success that she's had. So I get it that coaches, you make allowances. Haas, we've had guys that we allowed certain things simply because they were elite in the space, but we still had to set boundaries for everybody else. I'm not saying that the coach is right or wrong. I would just, my preference, handle your players. And then don't look, the coach hadn't seen the replay of Caitlin Clark running into the reporter. She hadn't. She asked Caitlin Clark what happened, and then they walked in the room, and then the mics were up. What I disagree with is that she didn't come back and say, listen, I looked back, and here's what I saw. And she didn't because she didn't have to. You know why? Because nobody held her accountable. The queen and the princess get to make the rules. That's what it is. I was never had a woman athlete and a coach have the levels of success and notoriety and make the money that they've made for the program ever. So it's a thing.
Two names come to mind for me: Livy Dunn and John Morant. And so with those two names, I hope you see why I went there. So the success that Livy Dunn, or attention that Livy Dunn has gotten, it's just new. Mm-hmm. This is not something that we've seen and we're not used to. And as a person, I'm sure Livy Dunn is not used to. So with that, the things that she does and the way she acts, it's probably going to be different. And so I'm not making excuses, but what training is around that to make sure it doesn't come off the wrong way. The same needs to be done for Caitlin Clark. And we talked about it a couple times with who John Morant is and should be and could become as a basketball player. If there's things outside of the court that shouldn't happen, who is he surrounding himself with that would make sure that doesn't happen? So it's the same, like, who is Caitlin Clark surrounding herself with that says, nah, you're too good. If you guys are saying it's true, fine, I'll believe you. I'm not there. I didn't meet her. DP is a person that can read people. Fine. Then let's make her better, because you're going to be one of the best women's basketball players of all time. You might as well not be a jerk. You might as well not be a diva. You might as well be like a Cody Rhodes.
Fair enough. And I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here on this last break before we kind of wrap things up. And quick programming notice, when we get to 1 o'clock, we will officially have our Super Bowl coverage starting here on the ticket. So on the airwaves, we'll have our shows, or excuse me, on the airwaves, we'll have our Super Bowl coverage, streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. You can continue to get your ticket content that way. But with that being said, we'll go ahead, throw to our last break here on the breeze. We got DP Haas. I'm Harrison at the studio. Don't go anywhere.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through February 13th is spend $40 and get stew beef for free. Plus, 15% off all alcohol and chocolates as you prepare for Valentine's Day. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. They encourage those who go out to make smart decisions behind the wheel or plan accordingly to have someone lined up for a safe ride home. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come for the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the big game at Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Wings and Rings? It's the big game party with 93.7 The Ticket at Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into The Breeze here on Ticket Weekends. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos back at the 1040 Ticket Studios. We got Haas streaming in. DP had to check out, but don't worry, we got a short segment here, and we got to talk. We haven't even talked about the Super Bowl yet, Haas. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and we have yet to get to the 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So we got 49ers and Chiefs. We got about 5 minutes here. Haas, I just kind of want to get your initial thoughts. My brain has switched about 5 times leading up to this about who I thought was going to win it, but I feel pretty good about it now. I'll let you go ahead and give your thoughts first.
That's today?
Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh, it's today. Okay, got it.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it. We haven't acted like it was. To be fair, I have a lot of shows this morning. So you talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, and then it slips your mind. But yeah, that is happening today, 5:30 our time.
Got it.
I'm sure you weren't aware at all.
No, I didn't know. I mean, I could grab each jersey that's in my basement and show you how much I know.
We don't have half an hour. Otherwise, let's do it.
That one's Steve Young. That you can't see. That's Jerry Rice.
Yep.
Montana over there is the newly Hall of Famed guy that DP got me an autographed jersey from, Patrick Willis. There's a Kaepernick one next to my squat rack.
That's right. Okay.
Ronnie Lott. Yeah, so he's the only one that is not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a bit of an odd duck in that collection of yours.
But DP got it for me, and yeah, Ronnie Lott is over there near the bike. Who else? T.O. And I probably have four Jerry Rice jerseys because he was my favorite player growing up all the time.
You're gonna have to get a Kittle jersey. That's one of the best tight ends in franchise history.
So I don't like having jerseys of players who aren't retired or Hall of Famer. Like, they can't be Hall of Famers if they're not retired. But they're
fair enough. Wait for the Hall of Famer retirement.
Yeah. So DP got me DP's Santa Claus, first of all.
Yes, I can attest.
Sent me a Brock Purdy jersey just because, and I'm like, gosh darn it, now Brock Purdy's not going to play well. And lo and behold, he had like 2 weeks in a row that he just didn't play well, and I'm like, It's the curse of the jersey. Anyway, so as you guys know, I watch every 49er game. I got a fake ID as a kid so I could go to sports bars and watch the 49ers. So I haven't missed a 49er game on TV since I was probably 19 years old. And I've been a fan since I was 6.
Wait, that's incredible. You got your first fake ID, not for alcohol, but because you want to watch the 49ers in the sports bars because they actually carried the game.
Yes.
That's incredible. That'd be the first time I heard a fake ID get used for that, but that's incredible. It says a lot about your fandom if you're willing to risk it just to watch a sports game at a sports bar.
Yes. So that's how diehard of a Niner guy that I am. So with that said, there are matchups that matter, and it's always in the trenches. And last week, I mentioned that the 49er offensive line isn't as strong. Mm-hmm. The Kansas City offensive line is very strong. And so with that, can the 49er defense penetrate with 4 defenders? Can they get there? Is Chase Young actually going to play as much as he's played the last couple of games despite not having effort? So that was one of the stories. Are they going to play Gregory more? Or are they going to blitz a little bit? So when Greenlaw gets there and Warner gets there, they don't blitz that much. The Niners defense now is more cornerback oriented instead of linebacker and defensive end oriented just because they're coordinator. Will they blitz with more than just the regular 4-man rush? So that's one thing to look for. From a protection on the other side, how much is Jones going to disrupt the interior of the 49ers offensive line? And how much does Purdy have to throw with someone in his face? So if Purdy doesn't have someone in his face, doesn't have someone hitting his arm, doesn't have someone making him throw a while on his back foot. He's a lot more effective. And those are the things that I'm going to be looking for while watching the game. What are you looking for?
Same thing. Where is Chris Jones lined up? Where is he lining up, and what are the 49ers going to do to try to slow him down? Kind of the same thing on the other side. How are you going to stop Bosa? How are you going to stop Chase Young? And when Randy Gregory is considered depth, that's a great problem to have. So to have that lineup, then obviously Greenlaw and Warner, those two surprisingly felt like they haven't been playing their best throughout these playoffs. So I will be kind of intrigued to see how. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
The Green Bay game, Greenlaw had 2 picks, and he didn't. And Fred Warner was everywhere to tackle all over the field. So
I guess more so talking.
It's
about
the rush. It's the rushing defense, but that's not necessarily. I understand. Like your middle linebacker should be able to cover everything, but if your edge rushers are not putting a contain out there and they're just allowing a 7-yard run before they even get to the linebacker, then it's not really the linebacker's fault. So I think the defensive line just wasn't playing the way they're used to. And so the 49ers have been playing ahead pretty much all year when they were winning. And when they're playing ahead, then the teams aren't running. And then when they're not running, they can use their pass rush. And so Green Bay had a lead, Detroit had a lead, and it made the Niners not be their identity. So
that's fair enough. I'll trust your tape work on that one. Yeah, as you indulge in plenty of 49ers, I'll trust the tape that you're watching. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I do wonder a little bit when it comes to Purdy, if the moment's going to be too big. I don't think it is. I know a lot of people are talking about that. I mean, he led this team last year, not to the Super Bowl, but obviously to the semifinals, falls just short. This year, I felt like the pressure was on him. I feel like he already got that out of his system. He had like you talked about, that little stretch of games where he wasn't playing great, and he got out of it. You can't say the same about Jalen Hurts, who's in the Super Bowl last year. So I think he's already kind of conquered a lot of those demons. I'm not worried about Brock Purdy diminishing in the moment. I don't think the lights are going to be too big for him, but I do want to get your thoughts. And real quick, we do have to get out of here. I'm picking the 49ers to win it still. 24-21 walk-off field goal. I'm going 49ers, but give me your thoughts on Brock Purdy. Is the moment too big? And then go ahead and give us your pick, and we'll get out of here.
Talked about it last week. The difference that Shanahan has right now is he trusts his quarterback. He knows that his quarterback can make plays. He knows his quarterback can read the defenses. So the thing that's not a intangible that happens at the combines is how quickly can you read what's going on? And Brock Purdy reads it really well. And his anticipation is also elite. So with that, Brock Purdy should have a really good game. And with that, hopefully I'll be happy tonight.
I love it. 49ers. Haas is going with the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers. Vegas really has got a split. It's plus 120 if you want to double down and go with the Chiefs. It's negative 120 if you go 49ers, plus 100 if you go pick the Kansas City Chiefs. So all odds are saying it's going to be a close one, but me and Haas both agree we're picking the 49ers to go ahead and take away the Super Bowl. Get a little bit of revenge. Since the last time they were there, they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs as well. But that's going to wrap it up for the Breeze and wrap it up here for the airwaves as far as ticket content go, because up next, we got some Super Bowl coverage coming your way. Don't go anywhere.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Monday, February 12th versus the Grand Rapids Rise at the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids.